What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. Today we're going to be breaking down how you guys can make all of your press releases look the exact same. So we're going to be looking at about 3 separate clips here from CeeDee Lamb, all versus the same exact DB, working the same kind of variation of a release where he's going to be running a slant route and a fade route. So we're going to be talking about all the specific things you guys need to be able to do to make your releases look the same, keep this DB on his toes, and to make you be unpredictable. Okay, so I hope this video gives you guys some value. I hope it teaches you a few new things just about wide receiver press releases, just overall how you can improve your entire game. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you find yourself not sure some of the things you need to do on the field to work these specific situations that we talk about, whether it's press releases, route running, catching, explosiveness, all the above, check out that very first link in the description for our 28-day on-field wide receiver workout plan. So what it is we give you 4 weeks of specific workouts broken down into a specific plan with sets and repetitions, all to improve your entire game as a wide receiver. And we include a 30-minute video where we break down each drill, the importance of each drill, and show you a full speed example of each one. So I hope you guys can check that out. It's the very first link in the description below. Let's get started. So this first release here we're looking at from CeeDee Lamb is going to be this slide release slant that he does, okay? So the main thing about this release that I want to talk about is how he's able to use range and how this is able to set up this DB into thinking that it's a fade, right? So the next 2 clips we're going to be looking at are fade routes, but this is how you can build into it, right? So everybody loves to say anytime that a receiver slides to the outside, anytime he uses range to attack, as I like to call it, that, oh, you just want to sit to the inside. But it's very easy to want to commit to this fade, especially when you are a threat in the red zone like CeeDee Lamb is, right? So you see when he comes off the line, he's kind of patient off the line, then he starts to slide to the outside. Now you see when he starts to work this slide release to the outside, he's in a spot where this DB can't get hands and he's forced to make a decision. That's the most important thing. You got to force the DB to make a decision with all the releases that you do off the line. So when we slide and you guys get into this range, which is aka this like 45-degree angle off the line, he's either going to do one of 3 things. He's either going to shuffle with you like he does right now and try to watch your hips and be patient. He's either going to sit way to the inside, or he's going to sit to the inside, but he's still going to, he's either going to sit to the inside or he's going to sit to the inside and try to get hands on you, right? So if he tries to get hands on you and you're in this range specifically where you're at this 45-degree angle, he's going to lose his base. Now, the mistake that a lot of receivers will make is they'll slide and they'll get way too close to this DB. And if this DB can get hands from his base, that's when we got a problem, because then he's in a balanced position. He's getting hands and he's disrupting the timing with who? He's disrupting the timing with us and the quarterback. So we got to make sure that we're in a spot where if he's going to get hands, he's going to have to reach. He's going to have to address us. And when that DB addresses us, he loses his base, and then I can swat those hands and get off, right? So we got to make sure that we're forcing him to make a decision and we are prepared for every single situation, right? So now we're working this slide release. We work to the outside. We give him this slide. He goes off that platform, and then I'm able to slip back underneath and run this slant route. So now you might ask, what do we do if this DB sits to the inside? Like, let's say I slide and he sits right to the inside and we run this slant, we end up running right into him, right? He stays disciplined, he sits there. Next time I run a fade route, I got to make my releases look the exact same. And that's the next clip that we're going to be taking a look at. So make sure, fellas, that we are forcing this guy to make a decision. He wants to play this fade. Anytime he sees a receiver slide to the outside, he might be thinking vertical. I could run a fade. I could slide him out to the outside, run a slant. There are many different things that I can do when I make my releases look the same. A good defensive coordinator and a good DB is going to study film. They're going to study the tendencies that you like to do. Every time he runs a slant route in this situation, he goes with the slide release. So when we get to this situation, I see him start to slide off the block. I'm just going to sit right to the inside because I know he's coming. But if you guys do the same kind of slide release on a slant, then the same kind of slide release on a goal line fade, how can they be predictable? They're going to force, it's almost like you force them to have to trust their technique and watch your hips, and that's when we can create a lot of separation. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. There's a great job by Lamb, sliding to the outside, getting this DB off that platform, then obviously accelerating back over the middle. Also, fellas, one more thing before we get into the next clip. We are having a 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training clinic in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you guys are in the Las Vegas area and you guys want to come out and get some work with me and a speed coach, a former Division I athlete that I have coming down with us, check out that second link in the description, fellas. September 11th and September 12th, we have a high school and a youth quarterback and wide receiver clinic. Only 20 spots available for each one, so they're going to fill up fast. So check out that second link in the description below, fellas. Hope you guys could check that out. Let's get to this next clip, okay? So now, let's take a look at this slide release fade here from CeeDee Lamb. So you see when he slides off the line, same range, hits him with the 1-2, and now look where he's at. He's up to the back corner, got enough separation with his quarterback to put it above the rim, and he goes up and makes this play. So now let's talk about it. So we got to make this look the same, right? I got to make it look like I'm doing that same slide release slant. I got to have the same patience. I got to take the same angle. Everything about this has to look the same for this DB to commit to it, right? Especially when a DB is able to watch this thing on film. Why do you think a guy like Davante Adams, Keenan Allen, Doug Baldwin when he played, why do you think those guys are so dangerous off the line. What they do, it's not complicated. Adams always does that little hezzy hop to start out. He gives like almost like a little like split release, just something to freeze the DB, but it all looks similar. Going into a game, fellas, you guys should have about 5 to 6 different releases that you have on tap, and you're ready to roll based on the different situations that you know you're going to see through film study, and they all got to look similar. If they don't look similar, you're not going to be able to create separation. So you see when Lamb, what does he do here? He slides to the outside. Same kind of angle, same kind of 45, forcing this guy to make a decision. He could either lunge at you, he could either slide behind the, he could either lunge at you, he could either slide with you, or he could sit to the inside, right? So I could do one of 3 things. So in this case, he decides to kind of sit to the inside, play my hips a little bit. I'm sliding, I'm getting a read on him, but I want to sell like I'm doing a slant. So Lamb decides to go with this double up, right? So when I slide and go with this double up release, it's very important that for just 2 steps, I make it look like a slant, right? Everything's got to look the same. All your routes have to build off of each other. So you see when he hits this 1-2, what's he doing? He's selling with his upper half. His eyes go to the inside. His shoulders and his hips go to the inside because we're trying to make it seem like I'm just sliding, putting the brakes on this 1 step and running a slant, just like the last clip that we talked about. We have to make our releases look the same if we want to be unpredictable and we want this DB to sit. So now this DB's sitting to the inside. Now what can I do? If I just get him to stop his feet, I just get his feet to go dead, I know I can accelerate because I know where I'm going. He doesn't know where I'm going. So if you can be a salesman first and you really focus on exploding up off of that release when I get his feet to stop, I can get a lot of separation. And let me tell you this right now from a quarterback perspective, this is a ton of separation in the red zone. All I know I got to do is just put this thing above the rim or even just place this thing to the back corner of the end zone and get it up early, and my guy's going to go make this play. So again, fellas, have to make all your releases look the exact same to be unpredictable. Now we're going to take a look at a third clip here, and it's going to be more of that situation where the DB sits to the inside and how you can react off of that. Because this one, again, he had to run a little bit of a fade. That DB shuffled with him a little bit, so we gave him that 1-2. But now this situation is when the DB's just going to sit to the inside. Okay, so now Lamb, here's a perfect example. This DB doesn't play this thing horribly, but if you're a wide receiver and you feel like you can just beat a DB with speed, you feel like he's sitting to the inside, he's cheating this thing a little bit, I feel like I could just go. So let's watch it full speed so you see how Lamb gives a little slide, then just takes off, right? So that's the thing. This is that slide and go release. And again, not the most separation in the world, but again, from a quarterback perspective, if my guy's got him by a step, I love this matchup, especially when I know my guy can go up and get it, and I know my guy can go up and make a play. I love this matchup, so let's go put this thing above the rim and give him a chance. That's all we want from a quarterback perspective is I want a chance on the play. I want a chance to put this thing above the rim for you to go get it. Don't worry about the ball. The quarterback's got that. You worry about just being able to create a separation, getting a step or 2, and then you got to finish the play. That's how you get those opportunities. So now let's talk about this. So let's say this brings me back to the very first thing that we talked about, right? I hit that slide release slant. And let's say that DB, he sits to the inside. So I slide him to the outside. I run a slant. I end up running into him. Maybe he plays this thing good. Next time you tell, hey, if you got a fade, I'm doing the exact same thing, because if he wants to sit to the inside and he wants to cheat it and he doesn't want to honor the fade, I'm just going to go dust him on a fade a couple of times, so that will set up the slant. The slant will set up the fade and the fade will set up the slant. Those are 2 routes that work hand in hand together, and all the releases can look the exact same. There are a million different combinations that you can use, but you have to be a salesman and you have to make it look similar. So now you see how Lamb, he slides to the outside. What's he doing? He's kind of taking off. He's at that 45-degree angle. This DB's forced to make a decision, right? Lamb might have gotten a little bit too close to him there, but you don't want to go behind the line of scrimmage as well. When you guys slide, because I know a lot of receivers will do this, they'll be here and they will slide behind the line of scrimmage. All this DB is going to do is just shuffle with you, and even if you have to run a slant, you still have to get here, but he's got you by about a yard and he can get there just as fast as we can. So we got to make sure that we do threaten him somewhat vertical. So if I could threaten him vertical and I get him off this platform, you see how he's just sitting to the inside. He's trying to be patient, trying to play this slant. He wants us to run right into him. If I feel like I could get him with speed, I could just go get him with speed. Now, a lot of times, especially at the high school level, when they test you with man coverage down here in the red zone, this dude won't be about here. This dude will probably be about here on that inside hip. And when you hit him with that slide, he's thinking, oh, he's going to run a slant right into me, especially if you've maybe done it before, especially if you've maybe worked this release when you're backside on a route. That's what sets up this specific fade. So if we slide and we feel like he's just sitting to the inside, we could just take off and go. If we slide, let's say we got a fade and maybe he starts to shuffle with me a little bit like the previous clip, I can hit him with a 1-2 and then go. And then maybe a couple of times when he starts getting greedy and really playing the fade, I can tell my coach, hey, I got him on a slant. Watch how he's jumping to the outside. I slide, hit him with an in-out move, and then I'm back out again. So it's all relative, fellas. It's all similar. You just got to make everything look the same so you're unpredictable, like I said before. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Lamb sliding to the outside and just taking off, beating this guy to the back corner, making this play on that jump ball. All right, guys, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I always appreciate the feedback. Always appreciate the things you guys have to say, as it helps me come up with new ideas for new videos. So I definitely appreciate it. And again, fellas, 4-week long on-field wide receiver workout plan. All the specific things wide receivers need to do on the field to improve their route running, press releases, catching ability, explosiveness, balance, and all the above. So check out that very first link in the description, fellas. 4-week long program. Hope you guys can get on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.